Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Cornelius Camp of corneliuscamp.com. I hope everyone is having a great day today, and you guys are looking forward to the weekend coming up. I wanted to talk to you all today about credit repair. Um, it goes from people who are famous, people who make millions of dollars, to just your average everyday person. If you've had some type of financial hardship or time of financial hardship, your credit score probably got affected during that particular moment. But it happens to everybody. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get down about it. You can always bounce back and get yourself back up to good credit status. But that's what I wanted to talk to you all about today. I wanted to give you some steps to help repair your credit. And I got 5 of those that I'm going to give you, just some tips that I learned, throughout my years in real estate, and then even during my, I guess, financial downtime where my credit kind of took a hit, and believe it or not, I'm still trying to bounce back from it. But the key is that I'm making steady progress. So, but I'll share some of my experiences in these 5 steps that I'm going to talk to you all about today. All right, so we're ready. Grab a pen and paper. Okay, step number 1: make sure that you consistently check your credit. Sorry, I can't even talk. Step 1: make sure that you consistently check your credit. I know in my line of business and just meeting people in general, I can, they'll tell me they want to buy a house, and they want this, that, and the other. And from my experience, I learned that's the first thing you do. Ask person, how is their credit? And a lot of people can't tell me how their credit is, or what exactly or close to their credit score. They'll just say things like bad, good. Well, what does that mean? So you got to be a little bit more specific. Me personally, I love creditkarma.com. They send me a monthly email. They send me an email anytime that I have done something to increase my credit score. If, God forbid, something happened and my credit score went down, I get notified whenever this happens. And it's always available that I can just log on and check my credit score to make sure that nothing is happening, to make sure, check and see if it's rising up. I know one thing that I benefited from that, and from knowing that my credit score is going up, is confidence, happiness, any type feelings of sad, or maybe down in the dumps or beating yourself up. All of those feelings went away when I started seeing my credit score consistently increasing. So that helped me out a lot. So my suggestion: get you an account with creditkarma.com. Creditkarma.com. Open up an account. It's free. You can check your credit, on a monthly basis, and you can also get emails that they will send to you to notify you whenever something happens. Okay. The next thing is that you want to reduce the amount of debt that you owe. It's hard for me to believe that certain people, well, most people, are not ever in some type of debt, whether it be student loan, whether it be a condo, a car that you might have purchased. There's always some type of debt that is going on. So the key is to reduce it. Look at the debt that you have. Look at credit cards. Look at personal loans that you might have taken out. Look at cars. Mortgage. See which one of those has the smallest interest rate, and you want to tackle that. At least, well, let me take that back. Look at everything and see which one of those are most important. That's one of the other steps also. See which one of those are most important, and then as far as being paid off, and then go at it from there. But the main thing is that no matter what, each month, every time you get a paycheck, after you've paid off your bills, you want to set aside a monthly amount. Don't touch it. Set aside a monthly amount that you are going to use to try and pay off some sort of debt. If you have, I'm just giving this an example, if you have a credit card monthly payment of $320, well, try and set aside an amount for that credit card that you're going to pay is $400. Don't touch it. Don't do anything to it. Set yourself a goal and pay that $400 because you're paying more. So therefore, you're going to shorten the time that you pay off that particular credit card. That's just an example. Okay. Number three, speaking of credit cards, cut them up. Cut up all your credit cards. You don't need them. Your credit scores are already bad. So why do you need credit cards to continue to decrease your credit scores? Can you keep it down? I know one thing that happened to me particularly that kind of helped me with the whole cutting up credit card thing is that a lot of my credit card accounts got closed because I was, behind so many payments. So if my credit card account is closed, I can't use it. Cut them up. That's what I did. So once you pay up your once you cut up your credit cards, the best practice is to pay for everything with cash. A couple of financial gurus will say if you can't pay for it with cash, you don't need it. And I actually kind of agree with the philosophy, but I do also understand the day and age that we live in. You can easily have that same mindset by using a debit card. Because once you have run out of money in your checking account, which is where you're getting the cash from, you can no longer use the debit card. So in a sense, it's kind of the same. Certain banks actually have incentives, reward incentives for using your debit card. So when you use a certain amount, you might get points that you can use towards, plane ticket if you guys go on vacation or need to go visit family members or something like that. So keep that in mind. Cut up the credit cards. Preferably only use cash, but if not, debit cards are fine too. But you definitely during this time you don't want to use any type of credit card. Cut them up, throw them away, never look back, and definitely do not open up any new credit cards. All right. Number four, pay off the important debt. I mentioned this earlier. What I meant by paying off the important debt is that talk with the financial advisor. My advisor is consistently on me about making sure that I take care of paying off my credit cards before any other debt that I might have. Typically because my credit cards are the one, and I'm pretty sure this is like most people, credit cards are going to carry the most interest. And also they're going to be the most, have the most negative effect on your credit score. Student loans, the interest rate is so low on those, and, people understand when you go to a bank and apply for a loan, they see, okay, student loan. Well, we're not going to penalize him for that because he's trying to make himself a better person. A mortgage, same thing. People aren't going to hold that against you, especially now. Interest rates are really, really low. Same with the car. Okay, all of those things are the same. But the credit cards, you can have credit cards from 7% interest all the way up to 22. And it can get very, very costly. What you want to do with that and your credit cards is that, I thought about this way, and I thought it was the most rational way until I started reading, until I started listening to financial advisors, talking with my financial advisors, and then I actually kind of understood the concept when I went through it and I saw it happen to me personally. And that's basically think about the snowball effect. Okay, when you have a snowball that's rolling down a hill or a mountain, it starts off slow. And then as it goes down the mountain, it increases and increases and increases and increases and increases until eventually it gets very, very big. Okay, and that's how this whole attacking your credit card debt is supposed to work. You might think, okay, let me take on the credit card that has the most interest because you're getting charged interest every single month. It's hurting you. Well, you don't want to do it that way because that credit card with the most interest is probably going to be the credit card that you have the most amount due on it. So it may take you a longer time to pay that credit card off. However, if you have a credit card that has maybe 7% interest, but you only owe like $3,000 of it on that credit card, you can pay that off in a quicker time. And so you've got that one credit card that you just paid off, throw it away. You're done. You paid that bill off. Congratulations. You take the monthly amount of what you were using to pay that credit card off that you just paid, and then you add that to the next credit card. Okay, does that make sense? So again, it's the whole snowball effect. You're going to start off little, and then you're going to increasing until you have a nice amount to go ahead and tackle the last credit card with that super high interest rate. And it might not sound right when you first think about it or when you first hear it, but trust me, I was in your shoes with the same types of feelings and thoughts, and eventually I just said, let me try something, and it actually does work. What paying off a credit card early in the game will do for you, it helps increase your confidence. It helps increase your gratitude. It just makes things a lot better. If you have positive attitude, if you have a positive attitude and you have confidence, then things that are good are going to happen to you. Okay, so just wanted to touch on that. If that's a little confusing, I apologize, but it just trust me, it does work. Okay. And the last thing, you have to be patient. This is not going to happen overnight. If you come across any type of website or marketing program or something that states um, clear your credit quickly or repair your credit quickly, anything with the word credit and quickly in it, you need to run. Run as far as you can, turn to another website, go to another channel, whatever the case is. There's no such thing as credit and quickly as far as repairing. Now, you can go into debt with your credit and have a low credit score. You do that very quickly. But if you're trying to repair and you're trying to improve your credit score, it's not going to happen quickly. I like to use the analogy because I used to be a personal trainer a couple of years ago, and one of the hardest things about getting people to understand when it comes to weight loss or when it comes to building muscle or whatever it is that they're trying to train for is that they have to understand, especially weight loss, they have to understand that it is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. It's going to take months. It's going to maybe take years, depending on what your goal is. The same with credit card. Depending on how much debt you have, it may take years to do this. You have to get in that mindset or you're going to feel defeated. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get upset. And then you're not going to stick with the plan that you have put in place in front of you. Okay, so it is just like exercising. You have to be patient. You have to understand that if you continue to make the progress, that is the most important thing. What I used to tell my clients is that if you, let's say you're trying to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, okay? And the first month you might lose, I don't know, 10, okay? And you say, oh man, I'm gonna get past 50. Well, that second month, something might happen. You might get sick where you can't work out as much, or your body might hit a plateau where instead of losing 10 pounds in 1 month, you might have lost 7, or you might have gotten stressed out and you might have, fall back into one of your bad eating habits, or you might have had some family or friends come into town and you might have had more than your one cheat day a week. Whatever the case is that you have to be prepared to go against things that we call life, and things happen. Okay, the same with your credit repair. If you're saying that you're going to pay a certain amount, that's great. Try and stick with it, but also understand that emergencies might happen and you may not be able to pay that certain amount off in that particular month. But you can't get discouraged. You can't get defeated. You have to stick with the plan, and then you have to, again, be patient, because building your credit score is not going to happen overnight. Trust me. I know a person whose credit score got really, really low. They went through I can't think of the right word. Oh, they went through bankruptcy and they went through foreclosure. So their credit score got really, really low. And I've known this person to be trying to repair their credit now for about 5 years. And I've seen them work diligently. I've seen them pay off bills. I've seen them get stressed out. I've seen them do everything that they're supposed to do. No more credit cards. No more high interest when it comes to buying cars. No more lavish spending and going out on weekends and all of this other stuff. They've done everything that they're supposed to do, and they're stuck to the plan that they had in place. And I was talking with them the other day, and I was telling them about, how my credit score is, getting bouncing back up and it's looking really, really good. And then they told me their credit score, and I was so shocked because one, I didn't know that their credit score had fallen that far down, but two, I've seen them do way more work and longer in that work process than I've been. So I thought they would have been a lot more ahead of me, or at least at the same amount of score, at the same score that I'm at. And lo and behold, they told me that they were not. And I just started thinking like, wow, I've seen you do this much work, and yet it's only gone up, 200-300 points. So I say that to say this. Sorry, I'm being long with it, but you got to be patient. This is not going to happen overnight. It's just the way that it is. There's nothing that you can do about it unless you hit the lotto and you can just, pay off everything all at once. You have to be patient. Um, so that was everything. Those are my tips to help you repair your credit. I know a lot of people who want to buy homes, and that's one of the main things that is hurting them right now is their credit score. Whether they just had some bad financial advice, or they had some bad habits, or they just had some bad luck and they had to go through some financial hardships. Whatever the case is, whatever your credit score is right now, it's never too late. You can bounce back from it. You just have to have a set plan. You have to put it in place. You have to stick with it. Again, the 5 tips: check your credit. Creditkarma.com can check your credit score anytime you want to. They send you notifications. Number 2, reduce the amount of debt that you have. Look at the debt, write it down, put it on a whiteboard, put it on your mirror, whatever it is, and just tackle it one by one. Don't try to tackle all of it at the same time. If you have a pizza in front of you, that's why they cut it up in slices instead of you trying to eat the whole pizza. It doesn't work. It can't work. Okay? Number 3, cut up the credit cards. Throw them away. Give them to the dog. Let a dog tear them up. Whatever it is, put them in a shredder. Okay? Whatever it is, get the credit cards out of your life. You're already in debt from credit cards, most likely. So why do you want them around? They are your enemy at this point. Leave them alone. Get rid of them. Only pay by cash, preferably. But if you must use a debit card is okay. No more credit cards. It's over. It's done. Okay? Number 4, pay off the important debt first. Pay off the debt. Look and do some research. When you go to creditkarma.com, talk to a financial advisor. Find out which of your items is most detrimental to your credit. Okay, what's affecting your credit score the most? Those are the bills that you tackle first. Okay, because you need to get those. You need to show improvement on those. You need to show progress. So therefore, your credit score can start to increase. Okay, and the last thing, again, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. That's just the way that it is. Nothing you can do about it. Take your time. Use the snowball effect. The snowball is very, very powerful once it gets big, but it does not start off by big. It starts off small, and it gets the momentum rolling down the hill, and then next thing you know, it's massive. Okay? So just wanted to go over those things with you guys. Thank you for being with me for this amount of time. I know this was kind of a long video, but credit scores are very, very important, and credit repair is very, very important. One more thing that I want to say before I end is that there are companies out there who will help with credit repair. You can easily Google it, and it may be a national company, it may be a local company. I've never had to use it. I've never had to refer any of my clients to it, but just when talking with the lenders that I work with, it seems like lenders and financial advisors are probably the most knowledgeable of different credit repair, either programs or companies that can help out people. So that might be something that you want to look into. All right. Thanks again, guys, for looking at this video, watching it, listening to it. If you want to get in touch with me, you can always reach me through social media. My contacts are in the description box below. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you leave a comment How did you like the video? Was everything okay? Um, did you learn something from it? Do you have a specific tip that you use to help repair your credit? Maybe you went through something and you want to share it. It's always better to give than to receive. Always remember that. And then also make sure that you like the video. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you guys sticking with me through this video. And I will talk with you later on. You guys have a good night. Take care. Be safe.